Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. So this is the second in my SBR guide series that I will be doing. I did a whole bunch of SBR guides on Discord, but I thought it would be best to maybe do some in video format because it'll probably help people a lot. I mean, you know, these are pretty easy. I'll start with the monotype ones, but I mean, it might help someone. So this is the second stage. The first stage should already be up. This is the extreme tech stage. So I've got a couple rules for most of these SBRs. For most SBRs I'm going to try use as many free-to-play players as possible, as many non-LR cards, non-summonable LRs I should say. So yeah. In terms of extreme tech, there's quite a few free-to-play choices that are pretty decent, especially for the first extreme tech stage. You've got the free-to-play Android 13, you've got the LR Prime Battle Cell first form, you've got the Demon King World Tournament Piccolo, you've got the Lord Slug that's just come out and got an easy A, so you've got quite a few good free-to-play options that you can use for the team. And then yeah, I mean, as lead you're going to want to probably run Tech Frieza because of his tanking abilities, but yeah, I mean, you can definitely run the new Easy A Broly, which I'm probably going to do because he's 130% lead with 3 key across the board, so he's 10% better than the Tech Golden Frieza, and I just kind of want to also try him out in this video and let you know how he goes. I'm not going to be using the superheroes units, they're really good, but I think I'm going to try and avoid like using limited time summons as well, I guess. Is probably the best way to go forward with this. So in terms of any SBR, the main rules that you're going to want to do is you're going to want units that bring a lot of utility. You're going to want to bring units that have attack lowering, attack down, defense up for themselves, damage reduction, stunning, sealing, anything pretty much that basically brings you ways to control the fight, because SPR's the main goal is to control the fight. If you can have more control over the opposition, then you can let them just kind of out damage you or cause you problems, and that's going to give you like a great degree of success in terms of SBR. So in terms of this first stage here, and in terms of basically monotype SBRs, the first 1 to 10 SBRs, you basically get a random allotment of characters that you're going to fight. You can sometimes fight 2 characters, 3 characters, 4 characters, 5 characters. It just depends on the allotment that you get. So it's going to be very difficult to do like a specific strat or saying focus on this enemy, because you're not going to get that kind of ability to focus in, because your run may be different to mine. So what I'm going to more do is just kind of talk about how each unit performs or what kind of unit you're looking for in terms of performance, and that'll kind of hopefully help you. So in terms of this strategy, when you're running the double Broly's here, because the stage is so old now, you can basically run this stage, I want to say, pretty much with ease. Units with 80k defense are not going to be able to die from a single super. They're going to be able to tank decently enough. They might take 10 to 15k damage, a unit with 80k, without attack lowering. I mean, we'll see here how much damage we take on this. So the Demon King Piccolo is really good because he gets 50% damage reduction as soon as he gets a couple tech orbs. It's 6 orbs, and actually it's 6 orbs in total, it's not tech orbs. So that's pretty good for him. Obviously, this Broly gets quite a bit going on as well for himself, and this Tech 13, I brought him along. You kind of need androids to bring out this full kit. He probably performs the worst out of the whole, team. It's why I brought this Solar Kamehameha Cell as well, because he kind of counts as an android and he heals This double rotation here of Solar Kamehameha Cell and First Form Cell is a very good combination, just in general, for the game. They don't share like the max links that they could, but their kits work pretty well together. This first cell, he attack lowers on his 18 key if you can get it, but you know, he restores health on his 12 key, which is 15%. No, yeah, 15%, and then this cell here also restores health 10% on his full attack as well. So basically between the two of them, you're getting like a quarter of your health back roughly every single turn. So that's going to be pretty helpful in terms of sustaining yourself, especially in these earlier SPRs where you might take a lot of damage but not die, so to say, because they're just not dishing out the kind of damage extreme SPR or the category SPRs do. So yeah, it's pretty impressive showing by this cell here. This Broly's dishing out a lot of damage. I mean, under 130% lead, he's dishing out anywhere between 2 to 3 million, which is just really good, especially for these earlier SPRs. He just cleans up, basically eliminates a unit every turn. Starts with 92k defense, which is pretty good. This Lord Slug shares a couple links, Demonic Ways, Nightmare, with this World Tournament Demon King Piccolo. So I decided to kind of pair them together, mainly just because I know that the Demon King Piccolo is going to end up doing well as a tank, and this Lord Slug, he gets a lot. He does quite a bit of utility. He stuns on his super attack. He's got a decent enough defense for this mono SPR, sitting at around 90,000. And he dishes out like a decent amount of damage. He also heals when you hit below 30%, so he can act as an emergency heal. I mean, he can do that heal more than once. But yeah, so this first kind of fight here, when you're fighting these 4 kind of enemies, you really just want to basically focus in on the enemy who's attacking the most, and you want to attack lower him or seal them. If you have units that can seal or stun, you want to make sure that you seal or stun the unit that's attacking the most, and then either attack lower the units that are attacking your weakest defensive unit, or try and eliminate some of the weaker, less health enemies immediately, I want to say. So in this fight, we're fighting 2 enemies. These fights are very different. Your main goal here is to focus on a singular enemy. They both usually attack an even amount of times, and you're going to want to basically focus a single enemy while you kind of rotate attack lowering on both of them. But I would say it's focus big damage on one of them, and then maybe pop an attack lower on the other one every now and then. But you really mainly want to focus on getting one of them out, and maybe split utility like sealing or stunning. If you can stun one and obviously seal the other, that's going to be a lot more important than just stunning and sealing a single enemy. But yeah, so you can see the cell rotation is really working, really putting in the heals. We're going to take a little bit of damage from super attack coming up now from good old Piccolo, which kind of negates all the healing that we did. But I mean, that's kind of their shtick. It's really good. You can see that this cell is taking only 80k from super attacks. This won't happen in category SPR or in extreme SPR, but I mean, I can only showcase it stage by stage, but you'll see these cards perform reliably, and it's mainly free-to-play team, which is great, for players that are trying to get stones or just, haven't had a lot of luck with summons. I know extreme tech in general is a limited category, especially in terms of links. So yeah, you might end up, being thankful that you kind of almost free-to-play this. So yeah, this Lord Slug is really helpful. His stun is coming in great, and his heal is going to come in great. I don't think it actually activates in this fight, but it does pop up every now and then, and it can do a lot of work. But yeah, I mean, overall this team performed pretty well. I'm going a little bit slowly because I'm trying to showcase the units a little bit, and you should take a look at some of their defensive numbers and how they tank attacks. In terms of item usage, obviously I'm not using that many items, you can see. But I would say in terms of using items, it's better to use items than to not. If you're sitting in a situation where you've got 200k health and you know that each super they'll do will do 80k damage, and then you might take an extra 8 here, 8 there, and that, don't start calculating down to the last 10,000 health. If you're in a situation where you think, oof, I might be left with 10,000 health, rather pop an item. Rather pop an item, save yourself the time and the trouble, and just take it from there. You're not going to harm yourself or harm anyone else by popping a single Whis down to clear up an enemy, or popping a heal, a sensu bean if you've got the good defensive units. Like, rather not do that. So just keep things kosher, keep things under control. The main thing about SBR is always control. Take units that create control, take units that let you control the fight, and the flow of the fight is the most important thing. It doesn't mean take units that don't do any damage though. It's important to always have at least 1 or 2 supreme damage dealers. Maybe not so glass cannon as some units are, but definitely take something that can dish out damage. Keeping units alive creates a contingency whereby they might super you or cause problems to you. So just try and keep control, basically. That it comes down to that, and you'll hear it a lot in my videos, and I don't really want to hop on and on about maintaining control like over and over again, but it's so imperative to keep utility on the floor. Like, you'll see, you should keep Broly out because he does 3 mil. No, well, no, I got 50% damage reduction and I got stuns on the other unit. I'm not going to give that up just so I can maybe dish out some extra damage. I'm going to have a lot larger control of this fight if I don't do that. So that's where you kind of focus in on it. But yeah, this Lord Slug is showing his worth. Multiple stuns right now, just kind of allowing me to control things. Stuns in 2-person fights are kind of like a godsend, just simply because they allow you to basically either focus the other one or just halve your damage. Because you're essentially halving your damage. Damage taken, because of how much you and that unit can reduce the damage, because of the fact that you can't get a second super in the turn, you can't get a second slot of attacks in the turn. It allows you to control things so much and just keep the fight at your own pace and just focus on whoever you want, or try and take them out. A lot of people say, if I stun a unit, should I focus the other one next turn, should I do this? Generally, how I phrase it is, if you stun the unit and you enter the next turn, and let's say, for example, you have all your damage dealers, you can dish out a decent amount of damage, and then maybe with some additionals in that, you can almost eliminate the other unit that isn't stunned. Then I would say go for it. But at the same time, take this opportunity to do what you can. If that unit that you stunned previous turn is at half health or 2/3 health, and you think you can kill a full health unit, you might as well just kill the stunned unit. Take it out the picture, remove that contingency. Then you can sit, go back, and grab your next unit with its full array of utility. In terms of Dokkan attack, the main thing you don't want to do with Dokkan attack is waste it on a full health or a very partial health single unit enemy. The main benefit of the Dokkan attack is it will take single target units and give them the ability to dish out damage AoE style to every single unit. This is very, very good for SBR, as you can imagine, because not only do you get the heal afterwards, but you can actually crit and kill some of the smaller, weaker enemies, especially in fights where they're a big group, but one of the enemies obviously holds more of the health pool than the other ones. You'll see that in the final round of this fight. I managed to get the Dokkan attack perfectly in this fight, and this may not happen to you. You may not get the Dokkan attack perfectly. Take your units, sit down, and if you are near the Dokkan attack, try and grab like 1 or 2 orbs, or even try and miss, if they super duper low, even try and miss some super attacks. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but again, if you have control of the fight, you should be able to control your Dokkan attack. Here you'll see I basically go, cool, I'm gonna Ghost Usher. I've got Broly, I check what kind of links he's rocking. The moment I hit these orbs, I'm gonna hit the Dokkan attack, and I'm gonna get an easy clear on this fight. And so this SBR went swimmingly with a whole bunch of free-to-play cards. basically you could make this entire team, take any 120% lead, the Freezer, the Golden Freezer, the movie transforming Freezer, basically anything that can lead Extreme Tech at 120%, and you should get a very similar result. The Broly's were constantly off rotation, just adding their damage to take out units. The other units were doing a lot of the work in terms of utility and control. So if you've got a similar build lineup to this, you can definitely go for it. If you're running the same kind of lineup, you're going to need to find a replacement for Solar Kamehameha Cell, which is pretty difficult. He's got a really nice, unique, good tool set. I think if you're going to replace him, maybe take another unit with a stun or a seal, because that'll just, I want to say, help you control the fight and keep things in your favor, because his heal is one of his biggest aspects, along with his 1.5 to 2 million attack stats he was throwing out there, which are obviously very good. So yeah, definitely take something that either A, can replicate the same damage and provide something similar in utility. Not so much a heal, but maybe something in terms of a seal, something in terms of a control. But yeah, so if we take a look at the fight, we came out swimmingly with everything. We're looking great. We're controlling everything, and it went through really well. I was impressed with Broly. I think he does really well at this level of SBR. I'm going to use him in a couple other ones. I think he's a great damage dealer. I think he's better off rotation. But yeah, new record, 13 minutes, awesome stuff. And yeah, thanks, and I'll check you in the next video. Cheers and bye.